Just when you thought things couldn't get any worse for Donald Trump's Truth Social app, well, a bunch of horrible things happened to Truth Social on Monday, including a nearly 8-hour, in fact, I think it was actually an 8.5-hour outage to where people couldn't even use the site. Although, let's be fair here, not many people want to use Truth Social anyway, and by the way, that does include Donald Trump himself, who still has not used it since it launched. Not once. I don't know if he's forgotten his password or his email or any of that to log in, or if he simply forgot that it existed, that he owns it. But yeah, Trump hasn't even bothered to use Truth Social, so I'm sure the outage didn't affect him at all. But it affected the users, because 8.5 hours between 7 a.m. and 3:30 p.m., yeah, that pissed off the very few people who use the website. A couple of comments here from the folks that were on the site. "It was terrible this morning," wrote one user. "Worst I've ever seen it," wrote another. They sound like a bunch of farmers talking about the weather. "Yeah, it's terrible out there this morning. Yeah, worst I ever seen it." Sorry, no offense to farmers. I know you do not all talk like that, but from where I'm from, yeah, we do. So yeah, imagine an 8.5-hour outage on your little fledgling site that is already struggling to attract people. A site that's so bad that Fox News had to come out publicly last week and say, "We're not on there. Somebody created a fake Fox News account. Please stop thinking we're using this garbage." Okay, they may not have said that last line, but that's pretty much what they meant, because it is absolute garbage. You've already had executives that have resigned because the whole dang thing is a train wreck. The SEC is investigating potential insider trading problems with the acquisition of Trump's Truth Social. Of course, that doesn't, apply to Donald Trump, so don't be thinking that, maybe we're going to get him for this. No, he's not involved in that for once. A scandal involving Trump that actually doesn't involve Trump. I know, kind of miraculous. But the thing is, the site is dying. And it's dying for so very many reasons that I have discussed at length, but let's remember this one thing. They actually got the platform, the design, the code for it, from an open source file. Meaning anybody can go in and get this same kind of platform, just copy the open source code and turn it into your own website. So it's very unsecure. It's so funny because there were hundreds of millions of dollars put into it, and they literally cut corners at every possible place. So I'm assuming the outage, we don't have many details about it because nobody actually cares because the site's dead anyway. But I think what happened is they probably skimped on the servers. Either that or maybe they forgot to pay their bills. That's happened with some of Trump's properties in the past. Just, oops, totally forgot to pay you, Mr. Contractor, Mr. Taxman. Yeah, sorry about that. Here's the check. We know it wasn't because the servers were overloaded with traffic, which does happen sometimes. A huge influx of users will crash a website, even big, bad, popular websites. But that ain't what happened here. I'm willing to bet they skimped on the servers as well, and that's probably what led to the crash. By every possible measure, Truth Social is one of the biggest online failures of the year. And in fact, if CNN Plus wasn't already in the toilet, Truth Social would be the biggest online flop of the year. So hey, at least they're not doing as bad as CNN Plus, but it's still pretty bad when you can't even keep your site online for the handful of people that actually wanted to use it. Hey everyone, this is Aspen. And did you know that for the low cost of $0 per day, you can subscribe to the Fair and Balanced YouTube channel? We also encourage you to like, comment, and share. But again, click that subscribe button and help Aspen not be so grumpy.